Welcome back to Anything. I'm your girl Benny, and we're in the living room. We're in the living room because we're watching Love Is Blind season 10, the reunion part 2. Okay, I apologize. I couldn't do the video all in one. Like I told ya, we're doing some constructions around my house, so that's just like it was so loud. It was so loud. I literally had to leave the house. I was not gonna be able to do it. So if you haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you always know when I upload. We left off with our good sister Jessie who done found her some medicinal love. Okay, that acetaminophen love. Okay, that ibuprofen love. Okay, so we got the doctors that's gonna come together. Let's see what Harriman gonna be giving. Cause let me tell you something. As a collective, we're not playing about Jesse. We're just not. As the women of God all over the world. Okay, the blacks, the whites, the Asians. We are not playing about Jesse. So Haramo, come correct or be gone in Jesus' name. Cause if I hear okay, if I hear that you do anything to our good sister Jessie, I'm going to be back here on this couch. And I'm going to dedicate an entire video for you. So, respect yourself, respect your lineage, respect your patience, respect all the medicine in your cabinets, respect all the things you done learned down there in medical school. Respect yourself and respect our good sister Jessie and treat her right. Okay? Let's see what the love gonna be giving. Okay, go ahead and subscribe. Is what I'm trying to let you know. Okay, we are on a journey to reach 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We officially reached 17,000. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. 50,000 is a long way to go. Okay, I'm talking about wilderness long. Okay, so let's gather the people, gather your cousins, gather your grandmama, gather the pets, your chihuahua, gather your fishes, gather all of the things and subscribe. Okay, please subscribe and let it do what it do. Okay, I will not be before y'all long, so let's actually get started. All right. So we got Haramo, who they done paint to him, and this baby did this right here. He did this right here, like. I don't think I'm doing it right because I don't even know how to do that. So as a man of God, as a doctor, how are you able to do that? He was like, that's a baddie move. It's giving bad bitches from Instagram. That's like, Haramo, why would you do that? Like, please, please. Our good sister Jessie has been through a lot. I want to hear nothing. When I tell you I want to hear nothing from you, I mean I want to hear nothing from you. And he also a talker, okay? Because now he got the mic and he has him, a sermon on the mount going. And I'm just gonna like one thing about good sis Jessie, she gonna attract somebody that loves to talk. She has the energy of a good listener, and so she be having all these men that just be wanting to talk. Because Chris was the same way too. Okay, so blessed be the fruit. Bless your heart, Jesse. I'm wishing you nothing but love. And Haramo, I am warning you. Please, we're not going to have our good sister Jesse in no other predicament. We're not going to have her in no predicament that we got to come over here as the people of God and figure out. So, hush, okay? Hush and go ahead and love on our good sis. All right. And I'm proud to have you. I love it. So he does affirm her, talk about how, he's very proud to have her, by his side. Cause like, he done miss, he should have, been known in the past and all of the things. And I'm just kind of like, okay, all right, Dr. Hamal, like, go ahead and get your speech out. Go ahead and let it go. And it's just, she looks so happy. She's very emotional. Everybody's happy. I'm happy for you, Jess. Haramo, like I said, I'm watching you, okay? I am watching you. Please do not mess, do not, do not. Because then you got Chris over there who has to sit and literally clap, okay, for the woman that you disrespected. You have to clap, okay, for the love that she's now found in a doctor. When I tell you, God has a way of making it so that you rejoice in front of your enemies. Like, what? Talk about like, you prepared a table for me. Yandarabase, in front of my enemies. He's sitting over there with his grown hair. Mind you, that's the only thing he can grow. To watch this beautiful girl that you done disrespected be loved on, okay? By not just the man that she done found, but by the rest of us. And you gotta sit over there and clap and celebrate that. He will prepare a table in front of my enemies, and I love it. I'm waiting for the Lord to go ahead and prepare a table in front of my enemies, because listen. And you have down to earth Chris, okay, who's half of a door below the doorknob salmonella looking Chris, who has to see through a whatchamacallit, Dr. Haramo, okay, calling Jesse hot. That was essential. He had to go ahead and say, because you used up an entire 10 minutes of an episode talking about how this woman is not hot enough for you because she don't do no Pilates. Okay, mind you, you done did all the Pilates in the world. You done did all of the running, all of the CrossFit in the world. Yet and still, you and the earth are one. I'm talking about together in union, right? So for him to sit over there and have to call her hot, yes. And so now we're gonna have Mike and Emma, and Mike gonna reveal that the two of them had agreed days before that the answer was gonna go ahead and be no. Again, this is why like this show is so unserious. Right? Because why make it to the altar? A lot that this I kept saying this and this kept pissing me off. Both of y'all wanted screen time. Like both of y'all just wanted screen time. Y'all wanted to make it all the way through so that you can kind of like stay within, I guess what, the Love is Blind universe. Because if you knew 2 days ago that the answer was gonna go ahead and be no, why go to the wedding? Why drag all your family? Why gather all of the people on my screen only for you guys to go ahead and say no if you knew that's what was gonna be happening? Why do that? Because I will say, as disrespectful as Chris is, and as disrespectful as whatchamacallit is, Brianna, as disrespectful as both of them are, I'm so glad they did not waste any of our times further. If I know this ain't gonna work, gather your belongings, be gone. Right? All of y'all that be trying to get more screen time, you end up looking stupid. And so you have Emma over here talking about how, like, in that moment, like me saying yes to the kids was a declaration. And I'm like, beloved, what kind of declaration was you trying to make? Because 2 days ago, it was a no. You trying to get your Declaration of Independence on and gonna talk about how much like, okay, my yes was a yes to kids as well. Meanwhile, 2 days ago, it was a no. And you have Mike over here talking about how, like, first of all, I didn't read it as, some kind of declaration, but also, if that was a declaration, that's more so of a red flag, and I agree. 1000%. And I agree with his reasoning. Because you have this man talking about how, like, oh, if you're going to change your mind about kids like that within 2 days, because 2 days ago, you said, okay, I don't want no kids still, so let's just go ahead and say no. To save face and to still get more screen time, we agreed to go ahead and make it to the altar. But then, you have the glitz and the glam. You look your best. Like, your family is there. Everybody that loves you is there. Everybody that loves me is there. You have, this handsome man in front of you. The emotions are high. And you decide to go ahead and be like, you know what? Let me say yes. And if I say yes right now, it's gonna be yes to the whatchamacallit, to the kids. Except it won't be. Because a wedding gonna last you what? At most 4 or 5 hours by the time you say your vows, you do the cocktail hours, the little party at the end. A wedding gonna last you a little minute. So the emotions that you had on the day off, them emotions gonna be gone. They're gonna be gone. And so once the emotions are gone, we are back to exactly where we started, and that's dangerous. That's not somebody I can trust. And I agree. Okay, because if you're gonna make your decisions when you're feeling like really emotional, oh, she's gonna talk about how, like, I was following my heart. No. It wasn't your heart, because your heart knows you don't want to have no kids. There's no way your heart could have been wrong all your life. She's like, what? Was she 30? I'm not sure if she was 30 or not. But like this whole time, your heart was not wrong about kids. You have very valid reasons. So to switch up like that, that was not a decision based off of your heart. It was a decision based off of aesthetics, based off of the high of the moment. And that's not something you trust. And so I'm glad Mike decided to be like, yeah, no. No, it's a no. I'm happy he said no. And we find out that Mike is, he's dating somebody new, and she's not dating nobody. And whatchamacallit, she's in therapy. She's focusing on her family. Oh, I forgot to say this, chat, because I'm not gonna play this back. I've been watching like a scene and then talk about it, right? But she also spoke about how like even though we didn't want to have kids, like even though we disagreed on the whole kid situation, we had so much fun. There was a lot of trust, and Mike, knows me better than even my family does. That low key. Here's the thing. Yes, there are certain things about me that now, I would definitely say my partner knows more about me than, my parents do, right? And I'm also from an African household. Like, some of our parents, they don't tend to really know a lot about us for real, for real. Like they want to make sure that okay, you passing your grades, like you passing in math, like what's 1 plus 1? If Johnny have 5 apples, like what's that gonna mean? That's what they care about. They want to make sure that you're getting your education, blase, blase. So most of our parents, especially within the African household, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but especially in my household, there's so many things that my parents honestly just don't know about me or never knew about me, never cared to know about me, right? But the way the parents, they had letters for her that they wrote. They had all these different, things as like, Emma is great, Emma is this, that, and the third. She and her parents have a much deeper relationship than maybe somebody like me, right? Like I said, my parents, we're not very like, it never gave that. So for her to still be like, there's certain things that Mike knew about me more than my parents did. On one side, I get it, right? Because it's like whoever you marry, they're ultimately gonna know, they're gonna really know you to the depths of who you are. But in that moment, it just kind of like it felt like then my parents really didn't care enough to know what it was like for her to grow up, right? As a Chinese young girl in a predominantly white neighborhood, a predominantly white household, right? Like you the diversity in your household, and then you have all of these, health issues. It seems to me like, because remember again, the last time like Mike met her side of the family, I remember specifically talking about this. It felt as though they were surprised and they were puzzled that she was sometimes she just like locked herself down there in the basement just like to be by herself, and they were like we didn't know, like she felt different. What do you mean you didn't know she felt different? She Chinese, like she's Chinese, y'all is white. Y'all got salt and pepper, and she trying to find whatchamacallit, her sesame seed and them, like she Chinese, y'all is white. Of course her life was gonna be different. Of course she was always gonna feel certain issues. And even, the ways in which she was, whatchamacallit, given up for adoption. Of course there were always gonna be things about her that felt different, that made her feel like an outsider within her own home, made her feel like an outsider, in her school, in her community. Oh, whatchamacallit, Emma, she will always laugh, blase, blase. Of course she would. It's called code switching. Of course she would. Of course she would. And it feels like her parents were just so oblivious to the ways in which she grew up. And for the first time ever, I think the whatchamacallit, the pods, okay? The pods may have been a great, space for her, because for once it just allowed her to really just be a person, to really just be who she is. And because Emma, I'm not saying this to be shady, but like Emma sounds like a white girl. Like my family, and it's just kind of like she sounds like a white girl. So to remove, the face, to remove, the whatchamacallit, the birthmark on her arm, like all of the things. For once, like the parts allowed her to just be herself, which is why she was able to kind of like have, that connection with like, Mike the ways that she did. Right? But for her to talk about how like Mike still knows me more than my parents, more than the parents that adopted me, more than the parents that actually seen me through all of the changes in my life, all of the surgeries, all of like, the different things. For those people to still not know about me, Loki, If you gonna adopt a Chinese child, if you gonna adopt a black child, if you gonna adopt a child that's not of the same, or what you call it, race, that's not of the same, culture as you need to do a lot more work to know your child and to support your child than Emma's parents did. And I'm not trying to say this to be shady because the way she speaks about her family, they love her. They clearly loved her. But there's just something about like, they never were aware of like, her Chinese heritage. They never were aware of like the struggles that she would face as a Chinese child growing up, in a predominantly white neighborhood, in a predominantly white household. We can't pretend, like we can't act like that's not a thing. Right? Like we can't act like she not Chinese. She Chinese. We can't act like, her health does not affect her. It has. We can't act like, she's not an outsider. Okay, even within this home, you guys can make her feel like family. You guys can make her feel like loved, right? But like she still is different than y'all. And we cannot tussle and gyrate around those differences. And so for her to talk about how like, Mike knows me even more than my parents did, I don't like that. If you're gonna adopt a Chinese child as a white person, if you're gonna adopt a black child as a white person, or vice versa, do your due diligence. Do your due diligence. Because the shock on their faces when they did the meetup with Mike and her talking about how like Mike knows me more than my own parents do, that don't make no sense at all. Comment down below and let me know. But overall, she's in therapy. She said right now she's focusing on her family. She's focusing on getting to know her family. And I do hope her family is actually focusing on getting to know her, asking the tough questions, and being actually vulnerable and expressing the things that like, hey, like this is different. You are different from us. Like, how can we support you? And not wishy-washing and tootsie rolling and gyrating around that as if it's a bad thing. Like differences are not a bad thing, right? Like differences are not a bad thing. But we have to acknowledge them. If we're gonna support somebody that's different from us, we have to first acknowledge that they're different from us. Right? This whole idea of like, she just was our daughter like all of our daughters. Yes, I get it, but also she's Chinese. The rest of your daughters is white. Hello? Please. Okay, and you have Mike over here who is dating. They done pan over the girl that Mike is dating. Why this woman look like the woman that everybody be dating whenever they break up with the original person? I could have sworn I seen this lady in whatchamacallit, in the last reunion. One of the guys who was dating, I could have sworn he was dating the same lady. Are you a paid actress that gets paid to be dating these people? Like, or do y'all just look the same? I'm sorry. This lady right here looks exactly like the lady from the last whatchamacallit season. Every time they're trying to date somebody new, it seems like it be the same lady. What's going on? And so now we have nomadically Alex and Ashley, and this man is, I'm talking about sassy. Okay, this man is sassy, he's defensive. This man is MAGA. I am not shocked at all by his behavior. This man is MAGA. This is how they tend to come about. So they're gonna ask him, like, oh, do you feel like, your stories were kind of like changing? He gonna be like, name the changes. Beloved, why you gonna catch an attitude? Like, pump the brake. Okay, pump the brake. Go ahead and travel nomadically down there to New Zealand and find your manners wherever you done left them. Okay, go find your truck mama who be nomadically nomadic like you. Okay, and ask her to go ahead and teach you some manners so you're not out here talking to these people like you done lost your damn mind. Hello? Gonna be sitting over here talking about how like, oh, he was concerned about being trapped. To be trapped with what? We have to calculate the jobs that you've been had. On one side, you was out here trying to coach in Florida. Then you was doing financing in New Zealand. And then you had another, coaching offer in Arizona. By the time we have to plug in the number, how much money you got that anybody got to be trapping you for? What is there to trap? It's always dudes with nothing and a half that want to sit over here and talk to you about how you trying to trap them. To trap you for what? What do you have? You ain't got no integrity. You ain't got no morals. You ain't got no honesty. You literally got you nothing and a half. Hello?
Do you feel like you were completely transparent and honest with Ashley throughout the process. So to answer what I've learned.
Pause. They're gonna ask him. This gonna be what's my call it, Vanessa's husband, Chris Lachey or Nick Lachey. Nick Lachey gonna be like, so do you feel like in this process you was what my call it, transparent throughout this, the entire experiment? This man does not answer. He wants to pivot. Oh, what I've learned from this process. No, 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 no. Were you transparent? Yes or not?
Potentially, I mean,
Pay attention.
The conversation with her father.
Pay attention, okay? Pay attention to the question they're gonna ask him and the first thing he's gonna say and how he's gonna pivot.
Transparent and honest with Ashley throughout the process. So to answer what I've learned from this process the most.
So to answer what I've learned from this process. No, 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 no. Answer. So to answer, go ahead and answer. Were you transparent? Yes or not? He has to take us, from here. We gotta go down there to Texas, New Zealand. We gotta go, in Hong Kong. We got to go in Florida. 2-0 and Jara before he could give an answer. Why would you pivot if the answer is yes or not? Were you transparent? Yes, absolutely. I was transparent the whole time. But no, he gonna tell us what he's learned. What have you learned? Evidently nothing. Evidently not a damn thing. But knowing this, these hosts, they're not going to ask nothing. They're not even going to catch him in this at all. Why would you pivot if you're trying to tell the truth? Why would you pivot? Why would you try to introduce another conversation? Why would you try to start a conversation? Why would you do that? Why are we stalling? If the answer is yes, I was being honest the whole time, say yes, I was being honest the whole time. But the thing about people who wants to lie, they're gonna take you through a whole journey for no reason, nomadically that is.
Ashley, my girlfriend, my fiance, my wife, isn't in my head with me completely.
So now it's about Ashley not being in your head. The question was, were you transparent the whole time? Yes, I was transparent the whole time. Why are we saying all this?
In my head, a lot of those things were understandable. No, I did not cheat at all. No.
Again, not the question the host asked you. Were you transparent the whole time? Yes, I was transparent the whole time. Now he's talking about, I didn't cheat at all. The thing about my wife was not in my head. My girlfriend was... What the hell?
So it is very difficult to kind of keep that story.
What he literally does is you ask him a question. He drowns you with unnecessary information and distracts you from the question you asked in the first place. The question was, were you transparent and honest throughout this entire experiment? Well, my answer is, what I've learned in this experiment. Then he talking about the person that's in their head. Then he talking about asking 3 times. There was no cheating. There was no overlapping. A lot of words. Then now you as a listener, you got to sit over here and be like, okay, so he did say, but then you got to go ahead and carry the 3 and calculate some things literally. He gonna give you a bunch of words that now you're in a maze. You're in a maze of words. And now you have to figure out what exactly is being said to me. That's intentional. That is intentional. That is MAGA. Okay? Listen to their president. That's exactly how that baby operates. Listen to a whole bunch of debates. Whenever you have MAGA debating different people, they will talk you in circles. They will literally talk you in circles. Okay, rolling and gyrating, half of the time raising their voices, right? Getting aggravated, getting agitated, like we can see with him. And so now you are left with a whole bunch of words that you have to plug in the numbers, calculate for some things, carry the 3. Okay, if Johnny had 5 apples, what the hell was nomadically Alex trying to tell me nomadically that is?
So to be clear, at any point, were you lying?
Nick Lachey had to literally come back and be like, okay, so to be clear, were you lying? Because now you done gave me a whole dissertation. In the beginning, okay, it was written in the skies and the stars and all of the things, nomadically, realistically, and then it was and then it wasn't. Were you lying, yes or not?
What were you here for?
To find a wife. I just didn't see any.
Ah. Sassy man. Sassy red pill podcast man. I was here looking for a wife, but I ain't found any. Meaning you is not a wife. Okay, you is not a wife. Who is a wife? Not Ashley. Okay, because my wife, she gonna have dark hair. Okay, my wife, she gonna have natural or call the lips. Her lip filler is not gonna be moving every which way. It's not gonna happen because I came here to find me a wife. You is not my wife. She gonna be like, I didn't have brown hair. Girl, you got Jesse over here. And I keep going back to Jesse because like Jesse is a perfect example of like, if I'm not it for you, leave me alone. I'm gonna go find somebody that's gonna think great and highly of me. Right? Cause whenever whatchamacallit down to earth salmonella looking Chris, who's half of a door below the doorknob, salmonella looking Chris. As soon as that baby was like, you're not my type because you don't do no Pilates, guess what she did? She gathered her belongings and was gone in Jesus' name. So when that man told you, you are not my type because you ain't got you're not saying like, whatchamacallit, dark features, dark hair, and all of the things, you should have packed your belongings and be gone in Jesus' name. Because down there at the whatchamacallit, at the wedding, you said, and I quote, this man don't love me. He never even liked me. He kept talking about how much I am not his type. Right? So you knew this man ain't liked you. You knew this man ain't wanted you. But you carried on throughout the experiment, arguing him down.
No, I'm saying that was the first domino to fall. But as time kind of went on,
The first domino to fall was the first domino to fall was her appearance. And actually, he told you this. Like, he told you this. Because you said he told you. Not just down there at the wedding. You said it another time too. I'm forgetting what conversation. I think y'all were having a conversation together. And like, you were saying that he told you you are not his type. Even though you're beautiful, you are not his type. And so down there at the wedding, you said it came a point where you guys were living almost like roommates, which would then bring the conversation about you guys not crossing or whatchamacallit, you guys not making it to the promised land and tootsie rolling and touching and agreeing. That conversation brings it to a whole different light. So he told you it wasn't his type. And as a result of that, he wasn't trying to really smash you like that for real, which is why you were horny. So he told you. So you did know where this man stood. But instead of you to pack your belongings and be gone in Jesus' name, you decided to stay on my screen, okay? The whole time. Only for you to come with that little Sermon of the Mount speech that you had down there at the wedding. So you did know. Again, match made in heaven, because both of y'all is MAGA. The men tend to be stupid, the women tend to be slow. Okay? Holy matrimony.
Have to make it feel like I'm literally Quasimodo or something walking through these doors.
You didn't have to make it feel like I'm Quasimodo walking or whatchamacallit down whatchamacallit these doors and whatnot. Again, Ashley is hung up on the fact like, dang, like people typically be wanting me. I am the standard, quote unquote, the European standards, because the blacks, we have a different standard. Okay, the blacks, our beauty is like it's ancestral. Okay, our beauty runs deep. But within the West, Ashley is a look of beauty. Minus the lips that she done changed. Cause them fillers, they keep moving. Every time she talking, them fillers is moving. But she's the look of beauty. Blonde, a blonde on the horizon. This is shocking to her, which is why she spent her time, even though she knew this man ain't really want her. She spent all her time trying to convince this man, because how dare you not want me? I am a blonde on the horizon.
if you felt that way, I think you have a beautiful smile.
He gonna be like, I apologize if you felt that way. You was down there flirting with Brittany, literally was talking about how, like, at any given point, I'm gonna end things with Ashley. That ain't a problem for me. If you're gonna end things with Devontae, I'm gonna end things with Ashley. And me and you, we can go together real bad because you are more my speed. You literally said, like, we have you on national television flirting, drooling over Real Desperate Housewives of Brittany. We have you on tape. He gonna be like, I apologize if. As soon as you say if, it's no longer an apology because I wouldn't have felt that way. I do not made me feel that way. Hello? Again, MAGA.
Looking for those patterns because you didn't fully heal from that yet.
You're
Now he gonna blame her like, oh, you didn't fully heal from your past of the people that been hurt you. Mind you, again, we have you on camera. We have you on camera talking about how, like, we have you on camera trying to, like, we have you on camera trying to, like, swallow up Brittany. We have you on camera. Now, Brittany kept it cute on some, like, Devontae's not typically my type. And she was like, yeah, I appreciate it. She kept it very cute. It was never on some, like, disrespectful, breezy type kind of energy. She never disrespected Devontae, not at all. But you was there willing to leave Ashley the very minute Brittany gave you the go ahead, like, okay. So Devontae not trying to, act right. Let me and you give it a chance. You would have left Ashley the minute you got the chance. You would have. So to sit over here and talk about how like it's her healing that's the problem. Again, the gaslighting, the manipulation of it all, the lies of it all. Again, MAGA behavior.
some little change happens. So
Can you
yes,
point to it?
You will always tell me a bunch of stories, and there was always something little that would change with your stories. And he gonna be like, can you point to it? It's hard for her or for anybody to point to it because again, you have a word vomit. It's like Scrabble, a bunch of words. Then now somebody has to see through and sort through every single time they have a conversation with you.
I think they're equal, and I think
I'm losing brain cells. He gonna be like, oh, I have some issues that I had to like, I guess deal with as well, but I think they're equal. Shut it up, take some accountability, something. But no, me and you, we gonna go back and forth. We gonna have like a match. Again, a sassy man. A sassy man. And I'm not saying men can't defend themselves. You have Jordan over here who was going back and forth with what's her name, with Amber. He clearly said like, hey, there were some things that were unhealthy. But the attitude with which he was sharing was not on some like, you say I'm gonna say, you say I'm gonna say, like just bad bitch behavior.
so rehearsed, too perfect.
So now you have Vanessa who gonna ask like, hey, do you think that Alex stood a chance with your dad at all? And you have Ashley being like, if he told the truth, that would not have been a problem. Like my dad gonna ask the questions. If you tell the truth, we gonna move on. If you lie, he gonna catch you in it. He was a lawyer for a reason. And he's sitting there offended. The only thing he's taking accountability for was like, okay, when they was down there at the fireplace, I remember saying this in my reviews as well. Like, this woman has asked you so many questions. Ashley always was the one asking questions, and he never really seemed to, care about her at all because he didn't want to be with her at all. And he gonna be like, oh, the biggest lesson for me was like, okay, I should have probably engaged her in more questions. No, the biggest lesson for you would be to tell the truth, okay? And stop being a nomad, nomadically that is. And stop giving people a word vomit, a word salad that they gotta go ahead and sort through to figure out and calculate and figure out what exactly you're trying to say. The biggest lesson in this is to stop being MAGA. Because a lot of y'all are slow because of who y'all follow. It's books that could help y'all with these things. It literally is. Now, her daddy MAGA too. But I will say that's how you meet a potential in-law. That's exactly how you do it. Literally. I don't like how Brittany's parents did, like on some like, oh, we just gonna welcome him with open arms and the things. Divorce is not an option. No. Ask the questions. Because as y'all ask better questions, y'all daughter would not have looked like Boo Boo the Fool down on these people's screen. Down on my screen. Okay? Her daddy did what her daddy was supposed to do. I'm not going to listen to this man again. Who's next? Okay. Wait, why is going to show Devontae and what's his name playing soccer? Alex. Let me play this part. Maybe they done moved on. Because I'm not, no. I have free will. Roommate?
Alex was a former goalie.
Were they roommates? Because when I done pause, it done say something about roommates. So you mean to tell me, Devontae, you done left a gorgeous woman because you wanted you a man? You wanted you a MAGA man? Devontae. Devontae. And look at him. He happy. He's happy as all hell. So all you needed was a man, huh? We don't judge. It's all right. It's all right. And notice how some of these men be having a lot more smoke for the women and never for their quote unquote boys. This the same man, whether you like Brittany or not. This the same man that was over here trying to get Brittany when Brittany was with you. Now he your roommate. High glucose levels.
Do you think that you were holding back in that moment?
I don't think I was holding back.
So they're gonna turn out to Brittany and call him Devontae, who done told their dad to go ahead and bury themselves, and he low-key wanted to be with the men, so he ended up with MAGA nomadically Alex down there playing football or whatever the case is. Now, Brittany, this gonna be the time for you to just be like, girl, it was a slow moment because we've all had moments where we was a little slow. Please don't come over here like Ashley did that one time. Not this white Ashley, the other Ashley, the black Ashley that married Tyler, the father of many nations. Remember Tyler, the one that donated his sperm, and then the lesbian couple that he gave the sperm to decided to go ahead and freeze his sperm down there in the fridge, the refrigerator, the freezer. They done froze his sperm, and when they was ready to go ahead and had their child, they decided to go ahead and pull out the sperm, like let it thaw out, like defrost it. Like when I go down there to the job and I clock in with them people, by the time I come out, the sperm gonna thaw out, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get me pregnant. That Tyler, y'all remember Ashley, how she came trying to get revenge on us? Brittany, please don't do that. This man played in your face, but like, at least for me, I don't like dragging things for no reason. As soon as this episode is done, I ain't even gonna remember your name, beloved. I'm just not gonna do it because I'm looking at this audience. I don't know them people, so don't come in here on some energy blaming us, okay? For your Pickmeshas moments, please just take a little accountability for like how blind and delusional you were, please.
I was trusting the person that told me he loved me.
I was very surprised because I was trusting the man that told me he loved me. But beloved, as much as as much as Devontae said some things, off the camera to your face, he told you he wasn't a fortune teller. Like, you know what? Certain kids should have been left behind because what's missing these days is the art of comprehension. Y'all are digesting information, but we are not comprehending. Like we're not comprehending. Critical thinking is becoming a lost art. Because if a man gonna let you know that he not a fortune teller about y'all's relationship as you sit on the couch telling him how like, okay, we are still engaged, we are still together, we are still, all those things were coming from you. What he said was that he's not a fortune teller. He don't know. Okay? Somebody with better critical thinking skills would have put two and two together and been like, you know what? This baby don't want me. They ain't said it yet verbatim, but they don't want me. Because their actions suggested that they did not. Okay? This baby ain't want to touch you. This baby ain't want to compliment you. This baby ain't want to do nothing. Okay? So if he told you down there in 2003 that he loved you, it doesn't mean you cling on to one word when all of his actions, all of his behaviors are proving otherwise. Please. But my husband said something that I'm going to, I'm going to just like, I'm going to really listen to him on that. He was watching some of my videos because he doesn't watch this with me because I watch this by myself half the time, right? But like he was watching my video and on that scene, he was like, Do you maybe think that she was low-key grieving? Because he says like there's like, stages of grief, right? Like the first stage of grief is denial. And I was like, ain't nobody died. Like, hello, like ain't nobody died. But he was like, the relationship as she knew it from the pods, that died. So the first stage of her grief, the first stage of, grief for everybody typically is denial. So her sitting over there convincing herself like, okay, this guy is still my best friend. We fell in love. We're still gonna get married. He still loves me. It's just no, it's just like not yet. It's just a no right now, but it'll be a yes in the future. That was, that was her being in denial. And that's, denial is a stage of grief. Now, Devontae ain't want to go down there and help the dead bury themselves. He ain't want to go through his whole grief, or whatchamacallit, journey and bury his grandpapa. I am not diabolical. I'm going to extend you grace. I think my husband was right. You were going through, like, you were grieving the loss of her relationship, and this man spent all this time, showering you with love and doing all of these things. And for you to just lose that like that, I think it took you by shock. I think you didn't know how to really compute certain things. I think it was a shock. I think it was a shock that, you were not being honest with yourself because you were low-key grieving the relationship for what it was. So from girl to girl, I feel for you. Okay, it's delusional. It's real desperate house. Also, Brittany. It's all of the things. But I think my husband is right. Like that's, you can grieve. You can grieve things that's not just like death, as in like literally like, somebody dying. Like you can grieve, an idea of like the life that you wanted. You can grieve, you can grieve a future that you had wanted. You can grieve a loss of a relationship, a loss of friendship, right? And I have experienced that. Like I have experienced, grieving like the loss of, friendships and all of the things. My heart goes out to you because that must have been a lot. To really pour out your heart that way and have a man play in your face, that was a lot. Like you were just in denial. So I'm gonna call you Denial Brittany. So it's no longer gonna be the real desperate houses for Brittany. It's gonna be Denial Brittany. Okay, so go ahead and just let this go.
I had bought a wedding dress beforehand.
So this man knew you had like Devante. You knew this lady had her wedding dress already. Now I've said that was weird. That still to me is desperate. Okay, Denial Brittany, that is still desperate. That is still very desperate to go ahead and buy a dress manifesting a husband that ain't here yet. Like that's just That's a little too much for me. Comment down below and let me know. But she told you this. You still decided to go ahead and ask her to marry you, only to turn around and demonize her for that? Mind you, you are already fat. According to Brittany, because the rest of us, we are going to be fat someday. You have already arrived at your fatness. Devante, shame as a mustard seed.
You should have left me all the way alone in the pot.
Exactly. You should have been left that lady alone in the pot. But the problem is you ain't had no problem with her having a dress. The problem is that she wasn't white. Okay? You wanted Ashley. That's what you wanted. Because it only became a problem after you been seeing her and she wasn't white.
It was a shadow, which I found very offensive.
That was very offensive because to call somebody a shadow, like dang. That was disrespectful as all hell. Okay? And you already big. Your shadow bigger. So to refer to her as that, like, beloved. Shame.
I felt like my love language was not being fulfilled.
Which she did say. She literally said, like, okay, my love language is physical touch. But he was like, he don't really like, in the morning when they was down there in Cabo, he gonna go take pictures. Like, she left this baby alone. She was begging for his time, for like his attention. But she ain't never like, she wasn't like chasing him like a little puppy. Disrespectful.
Thing I've always struggled with is being more direct with people because I don't.
So they're gonna ask him like, okay, do you think you were misleading her in the moment? Because whenever you was, talking to her on the couch, Yes, I as a person, and many of us, the dudes like, okay, this baby don't want you, but he never verbatim said, like, okay, I don't want to be with you. Again, when she reached in for the kiss, you kissed back. When she talked about us in the future, you were there like, yep, like you agreed. Okay, feeding into her denial, feeding into her delusion, like you agreed. And he gonna be like, oh, my biggest, like, hurdle, or my biggest, struggle is being, more direct with people. So you ain't got no balls of all the meats that you have in your body, because according to Brittany, you are already fat. Of all the meats you have in your body, none of them made it to your balls to allow you to stand up and say the things that need to be said. You gotta be over here tootsie rolling and gyrating like Yvonne. No balls, Devontae, who done told the dead to go ahead and bury themselves. Disrespectful.
Like hurting people.
I don't like hurting people. What you think you did by all the things that you said about her, if not hurt her? Even more. Just demonic.
Care a lot about Brittany. I think highly of her.
No, you don't. We need to stop throwing these words around. He gonna be like, I care deeply about Brittany. No, you don't. You never did. You heard her name gonna be Brittany, and you assume she was gonna come out looking like Ashley. Okay? So stop lying. She never deserved, as much as she was trying to be a pick me to get you to choose her, she never treated you poorly. She never treated you disrespectfully. None whatsoever.
But I also too was trying to see it through because I was.
No, you were never, like, after you gave that interview, you were never trying to see it through with her at all. Stop lying. Like, no wonder you and Alex, like, I'm talking about, holy man, that this who you wanted you a man. You wanted you a man, okay? And Alex gonna pretend to be a man, because we already know he left one of his balls down there in New Zealand. You ain't got no balls, and he got half of her balls. That together. Okay, you wanted you a man. Which we're not judging if you love men, but like, stop dragging women across when the reality is, yeah, just one man. No balls. Literally, no balls.
This or that, you should marry him or should you not marry him? And I'm like, this is my.
Now he gon' instead of him to just like stand and be like, you know what, this was, I treated her poorly. He gonna be like, when we was in the past, there was the love and the things, but then when we went on into the real world, and then it's like people were giving their opinions. So as a man who came on my screen talking about how much you ready to be married, you still was prioritizing everybody's opinions over your own. And you want to be her man. You want to be a man that's going to lead a family. Nothing and a half. Oh, just nothing and a half.
That he was gaslighting.
Yes. Vanessa going to be like, I don't like throwing this word around, but like, do you think he was gaslighting you? Yes. The answer is yes. This baby was gaslighting the bejesus up out of you. This baby was manipulating you. This baby was being disrespectful. This baby was never upfront with you. Never.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He still dragged it out for weeks.
I'm saying it now, and
He gonna be like, hindsight is gonna be 2020. Looking back, I should have been like the whole rehearse. I've been grown from it. Like, the whole answer all of them be giving, like, oh, looking back, I shouldn't have. And like the whole rehearsed answer all of them be giving. He gonna be like, well, I am saying it now. What would you look at that? Do you want a cookie? You saying like, do you want a cookie, beloved? Because what is saying it now gonna do for her? You had her humiliated publicly, insulted her. Now you're gonna talk about hindsight right now. Like, what's that gonna do for her as a woman of God?
I do wish I would have changed, how that conversation ended.
And also, Brittany, gorgeous. She looks so regal. She looks amazing. Brittany always ate down, but like, oh my gosh, this reunion, she looked stunning. Okay? I'm talking about stunning. The updo, the dress, like, stunning. And you left that. Let me now.
Brittany, when did you truly realize that the relationship was over?
Yeah. So Nick gonna ask her like, when did you realize that the relationship was over? Because she let us know that, after he walked out of the house and did the interview and called her a shadow, whatever the case is, he practically dragged the relationship for weeks. So Brittany, like, you let this man. She was in denial, she was in denial, she was in denial. Okay? But this baby dragged this on for weeks. So when did you realize that? Because
if you no longer want to be in this relationship, can you just be honest with me so I can move forward?
this lady gave this man chance after chance. Because she going to talk about how, like, 2 weeks and a half after, they finish all the filming and whatnot, he never had no plans to see her. Which, mind you, when they sat on the couch, he was like, well, I'll be in touch. Like, you know how you ever see, like, you run into, like, an old classmate and you're like, oh, we should definitely hang out. And you're like, absolutely. That's the energy he gave. Like, no real plans, like, no real effort. Okay? 2 weeks and some change gone past. And she's still the one to reach out and be like, if you don't want to be with me, just tell me so that I can move on. I'm going to give you the respect so that you're not going to see me next week with a new man. Okay, like, I'm just not going to let you see me move on. I want to end things the mature way. Let's have the conversation to actually end these things. This man never deserved as much grace as Brittany gave to him. He never did.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just processing a lot. I still want to be in this relationship.
He still said, hey, oh Lord. Even then, he still could not locate his balls. Even over the phone, ain't no camera, nobody was filming nothing. He still could not locate his balls to end things with this lady. Devante. What else is, like, what can you eat as a man of God to grow your balls? Because Devante ain't got no problem eating. Me and him, we ain't got no problem eating. We don't miss no meals. Okay? I do not miss no meals. So what can you eat that's going to translate to grow some balls? A little bit. What?
He, in fact, did not go on a work trip.
Wait, I done pause, right? Because, I can't play everything. So this baby gonna let her know after, she texts her, he gonna call and say, oh no, I still want to be in a relationship. Then gonna let her know, I got me a work trip. So he gonna go on the work trip, but except it wasn't a work trip. And Brittany found this out months later, she says. He went to Austin with a few of the girls from the cast. Hey. I paused this, and I'm reading. He went to Austin with a few of the girls from the cast. Before I even play, I'm going to tell you this right now. Ashley was one of the girls. Ashley was one of the girls. 1,000%. And I'm going to tell you this. Loki, she may have gone just to be spiteful. Because if he went on that trip and y'all ain't seen Brittany for real, okay? Y'all ain't seen Brittany. I think Loki, that's her trying to get revenge for the fact that Brittany was Alex's preference. Even though Brittany never did anything to disrespect her, Brittany never did anything to disrespect Devante. One of the girls gonna be Ashley. I don't know who the other two gonna be, but Ashley, definitely one of the girls. Let's see. So, after the trip, then he gonna come back and tell Brittany like, hey, I don't think I'm gonna be able to show up for you the way that you deserve to have, somebody show up for you. So he breaks up with her officially after taking the trip down there in Austin, okay, with 3 of the castmates of Love is Blind. I'm telling you this right now, one of the castmates is Ashley. One thing about white women, y'all conniving.
Bree, Ashley, and then Free out there.
Ah!
Rufus concert.
Bree, Ashley, and Priyanka. Would you look at that? The holy trinity of Pickmeshas girls. The same group of girls, okay, that done gave nothing and a half down to earth, half of a door below the doorknob, salmonella, semen, looking Chris, and audience. The same 3 girls, Okay, I told you Ashley was gonna be one of the girls. But then you have disrespectful Breezy, Pickmesha Priyanka, and Ashley. Ah, ah, hey. Priyanka, my sister, like, I can understand why the two of them gonna be conniving, but why you? Priyanka. Priyanka. Ah,
I thought it was a girls' trip.
hello? Yo. They gonna ask Connor, why you ain't went on the trip? He was like, I thought it was gonna be a girl's trip. So, I watch my colleague Devante, who done told the dead to bury theyself. Okay? You had to be on this trip amongst the white girlies. Like you just had to be there, huh? He was trying to show he shot at Ashley. He was.
Here's the thing: is like you develop friendships on the show.
Shut the hell up. Shut it all the way up. So they gonna ask. Vanessa gonna be like, so again, Devante, you done let the dead bury themselves, but somehow you ended up on a girl's trip. How you end up on the girl's trip? You gonna talk about how like, oh, they wanted to go ahead and see Rufus. I don't know who Rufus gonna be, but they wanted to go ahead and see Rufus. And Brie was like, okay, just come on along. I expect these things of white women. Priyanka, why are you in the mix? Like Priyanka. Like you develop these, relationships, and I'm gonna pause over here. You're gonna be like, oh, Devil is a good friend to us, and you got Brittany on some like. If Devil is a good friend to y'all and y'all know that he goes together with Brittany, why not invite Brittany as well to go ahead and see Rufus? Why would y'all three girls feel okay to go ahead and be on a vacation with a random man whose woman y'all know? And I'm sure y'all knew they had some issues going on in the relationship. Okay? So if he was a good friend to y'all, why not have him invite his partner too to go ahead and see Rufus? Who Rufus? Breezy, you are a disrespectful, low down, just like conniving Susan B. Anthony, just like satanic person. At this point, you and Chris, you belong together in holy matrimony. Literally. And Priyanka, I don't know how the hell. Priyanka.
But did you not know that I had my engagement ring on while you were there?
Did not, Brittany.
Did you not know that I had my engagement ring, on when you guys went? Oh, I didn't know. Even if you didn't know, why not text like, hey, hey, Brittany girl, how you doing? So Devil is out here trying to come to Rufus with us. Is you trying to come as well? That's what a decent person would have been did. Even if Brittany was not your best friend from the pod. Because it appears Priyanka, Ashley, and whatchamacallit, disrespectful Breezy, they go together. The holy trinity of the Pickmeshas. Okay, 3-in-1. 3-in-1. Okay, even if basic respect, basic decency says like, hey, you trying to come with us? Bring Brittany along. Then let's hear the story he gonna come up with as far as like why Brittany not finna come. Why was you at the dinner in the first place without Brittany? Why I didn't ask about Brittany down there at the dinner? And if Brittany don't like Rufus. Hey Brittany girl, we gonna go down there, whatchamacallit, to see Rufus and Devil coming with us. Cause she found out about this months later. So y'all had this trip and nobody said nothing to Brittany.
He had made it clear that you guys had called it off.
So he told you guys that the relationship was being called off. And you all went and whatchamacallit sided with what's his name? Devante. Nobody checked in on Brittany. No, nobody. And even if again you are not friends with Brittany, because it's not by force to be friends with all the women that you meet. It's not by force. For the optics alone. Why? Why are you on a trip with Devil? Why? Why? Don't hit me with all, the friendship that we don't formed and then the friendship that we shut it up. So he lied to them and said that okay, he had ended things with Brittany. Again, why ain't nobody like shot Brittany a text on something like, hey girl, like Devontae trying to come on this trip with us? Not even on not even on like loyalty to Brittany. Like again, it's not by force to like all of the girls or the women that you meet in your life. I'm watching this and I hate half of y'all. Brittany, Ashley, Priyanka included, y'all is trash. As women so far, from what we're seeing, y'all is trash. I can say that already. It's not by force. But for the optics alone, for the optics alone, for respect, not even respect for the other person, but for respect for yourself alone. And also, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Brittany say in the beginning, not Brittany, didn't Breezy say in the beginning that Connor, okay, being forgot his suit, right? And so Connor done forgot his suit. So now Brittany's papa had to go down there to Connor's closet, open the door, because Connor, he don't ever have a door that's gonna lock properly. Gonna boom, boom, the door gonna open. He gonna walk up to the closet, pick him a suit that I watch my call it Blabbermouth O'Connor being forgot for the reunion. Okay? So you all are close enough with Brittany that y'all can call not only Brittany, but then Brittany gonna go ahead and call Brittany's father, because I'm guessing, Breezy, you ain't got Brittany's father's number. So you had to go through Brittany. And Brittany had to go ahead and get her daddy to go inside O'Connor's office or closet. Huh? Pick out a suit, an ugly one for that matter. Drive it all the way for Blabbermouth O'Connor. You people were this close to Brittany to do that, but not close enough for Brittany to give her the basic respect of being like, you know what? Devontae over here talking about like, oh, we broke up. Like, girl, how you doing? Devontae trying to come on this trip with us. How you doing? Can you join us? Like, you were close enough to ask her daddy to bring a suit for your husband, not your husband, like your boyfriend, whatever y'all got going on. Y'all was close enough to ask her to do that, but not close enough. Not even to give her the basic respect of being like, you know what? Girl, what this man over here talking about how like y'all broke up? What's going on, girl? Like, how you doing? She ain't had to be your favorite person for you to do that. Because again, you knew her well enough to have her go to Connor's house to give to get a suit, but not close enough for you to go ahead and tell her that her man was out here talking about how like, okay, they broke up. Even if he lied to y'all, as again, basic human beings could have been like, girl, like, what's going on? White women, dangerous.
Were you friends with Brittany at the time?
Yeah, we're all very close.
Did you none of you say?
We're so actually gonna be like we're all very close, and then you got Priyanka over here in the audience mouthing like, oh, we're not very close. Again, y'all ain't got to be best friends, because this is not even speaking on something like loyalty to Brittany. This is basic respect from one human being to the next. This is all this is. And actually, you close to everybody, but you keep creating a space for their exes to disrespect them. Oh my God. She lying. She did this because she low-key was upset that she being a blonde on the horizon was not the preference, okay, to Alex. Nomadically, that is. Brittany was more of his preference. And so for her, she wanted to low-key get revenge, okay, to make her feel like, okay, girl, you're not here. We here with your ex-man, like, She wanted to have a moment, but she gonna get on my screen, gonna talk about how, like, oh, we love Brittany, we're all very close. Your father.
I think Brittany either called me or I called Brittany and we had a conversation afterwards.
Afterwards. So after the trip. So Vanessa gonna be like, Nana, y'all checked in on Brittany, nothing. She gonna be like, oh, I think either she called me or I called her. I'm guessing Brittany probably was still the one to call and be like, hey, Devontae told me he was going on a work trip, but whole time he was going out to hang out with you. And Devontae, if you had to lie that that was a work trip, you knew something was wrong. You knew. If you had to go ahead and make up a story and be like, oh, it's a work trip, you knew it was wrong. You knew you shouldn't have been there in the first place. You knew. Because otherwise, you would have just been like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and hang out with Ashley, Priyanka, and Breezy, the holy trinity of Pickmeshas. The reason why you lied that it was a work trip is because you knew it was wrong. And the reason why all three of y'all ain't said a damn thing until after is because, again, y'all also knew it was low-key wrong and shady. But the two of you, I can understand. Like, I expect Susan B. Anthony behavior from white women. Priyanka.
After I found out, though. But it was like, if I would have known he was lying, if we didn't know he was telling us.
She gonna be like, oh, I didn't know we had to ask permission. It ain't a permit. Like, Breezy, you are slower than a koala. I'm talking about the elevator. Don't ever make it to the top. You are just slow. Slow. We ain't gonna enter meeting. The mouth is always moving, but never are you are never making any sense, but the mouth stays moving. Just diabolical. No wonder your nose, like, you keep lying. The nose keeps expanding forward. My God. And he's sitting over here just like words. So they're going to ask him like, okay, is all of this true? And you got Devontae who done told the dead to bury themselves. Like, and then I just went and went and then I did and I also the two and the whole, that's literally how he sounds like. Never making sense. All that hanging out with Alex, Robbie, like nomadically. Just circle of life. The whole, just lying. Like, Brittany, like, I feel for you, but like, girl, I'm like, the minute this man told you that he wasn't willing to leave the experiment, okay, to bury a family member that raised him, that should have been the biggest red flag. That should have told you everything you needed to know about how this man is going to show up for you. If he's not going to leave a stupid experiment, because this experiment is stupid, okay? If a man was not going to leave the potential of finding love to go ahead and honor a family member that helped raise him when his own papa decided to go ahead and run away, okay? If that man was not willing to do that, that's not a man that was ever going to stand up for you whenever you became his family. Never. Because the way a man gonna treat his own family should let you know everything about how he's actually gonna show up for you once you now become his family. Because when you're a girlfriend, when you're like, the new shiny thing, like everybody likes new things. Oh, he abandons all of his family to hang out with me. Yay. I'm the one that he's choosing over his family. But guess what? One day, you will be his family. One day, you won't be the new shiny thing. Something else will be new. It could be his job. It could be a new, like a new hobby, a new game, a new something. And the ways in which he treats the people that he already have in his life should be an indicator of how this man gonna treat me once I am his family. How he talks to the women in his life, how he talks to his sisters, his aunts, his mothers, how he treats them should let you know how he gonna treat you. Literally. So when he abandoned his own family, when they were busy grieving on claim like, oh, his grandpapa would have wanted him to continue on this experiment. Lies. Just wanted more screen time. So when he was willing to do that, that should have let you know everything. Like, I kept talking about it jokingly, like, okay, he done let the dead bury themselves. But like, honestly, he abandoned his own family when they were busy grieving to prioritize this experiment to potentially sort of kind of find love. And the whole time, he thought he was going to find him a white love. And you came over here with your Hispanic self, with all your sazon, and then you done pissed him off. Hello?
Yep, I was as close with her as you guys all seem to be. I wonder if like a heads up.
Again, Vanessa gonna bring it back again to Brianna, Priyanka, and whatchamacallit, Ashley. If you guys were as close to Brittany as you all claim you were, and you got Priyanka over there in the audience trying to mouth like, well, I was not. Well, I was not. Girl. Sony. Yo vou mais Sony, eh? Os outros que sabem tudo não são Sony. Sony.
I'd like to speak up on that because that's not a
Now he's sitting over here trying to defend the whites and Priyanka. Oh, it's not gonna be on them. That's where I've paused. Like, why would you speak up for them? Let them answer. Why are they checking on Brittany? Why are they checking on Brittany? But no, don't ever allow the whites and Priyanka to be uncomfortable. Let me come to their rescue. Let me defend them. I'm a man of a few words because all this time I want to talk to Brittany about nothing. But like, let me come and defend the whites. Let me defend Brianna and Ashley. Let me defend them. I'm sorry, Brittany. You don't deserve this. You are way too fly. You are way too fly to have this man.
in my head it was over. I don't think the words had come out.
He gonna be like, in my head it was over. So you got Amber that turned around like that's a big old head. It's a lot of things that be happening to your big old head except a functioning brain. A lot of things are working in Devante's head except his brain. Except the part of his brain that's supposed to be honest. Just like Alex, nomadically. That's why they're in a holy matrimony together. My God.
I wasn't going there to hook up with girls, do any of that.
I wasn't going there to hook up with the girls. And I done pause. It's going to say I had my own Airbnb. I stay by myself. Again, it doesn't matter. You lied for a reason. You didn't hook up with nobody. Maybe because they didn't let you hook up. Hello? Because Ashley, she likes them athletic too. You were fat. According to Brittany, you were already fat. You have arrived at your fatness. The rest of us, we're still, I'm a couple cookies away to be where you are. But you have already arrived. So you ain't hooked up with them maybe because they ain't let you hook up with them because you are not his type. As much as you prefer the whites do not prefer you. Hello? Hello?
You have your own Airbnb?
Yeah.
Wait. So Brianna, like pick me, Brianna gonna be like, oh, we didn't even stay together. We just went to the concert and just came on back. It doesn't matter if you was with that man 5 minutes down there in Austin. Somebody should have said something. But no, he never even let them, okay? He never let them, offer that answer because why would I let the whites be uncomfortable? Why would I let the whites be under fire? Why would I let me come and rescue the whites? Let me rescue the whites. Let me rescue Susan B. Anthony's. Let me do it. Okay, and now they're gonna talk about Airbnbs. Oh, I have my own Airbnb, and then Brittany gonna be like, you had your own Airbnb, so the Airbnb is a lie to who you lived with. Let me guess, Priyanka. Where did he stay the first night? It's Priyanka, because the way her mouth moving is Priyanka. Priyanka, come over here and talk.
You landed, I picked up you and Ashley, and then you all of a sudden.
So him and Ashley flew together. Priyanka picked them up. And then he done stayed at Priyanka's Airbnb because that was what Miss... hey.
The Airbnb isn't confirming, and both of us were like...
So he went to Austin without a confirmation from the Airbnb. Lied to Brittany that it was a work trip. But he ain't had no Airbnb that was confirmed for his own self. But then he gonna let us know oh, I didn't come over here trying to hook up. You ain't had no Airbnb to stay at for your own place, okay? You lied and said it was a work trip. But your intentions, and also you flew there with, Ashley.
I was kind of in a weird position of okay, well, what am I supposed to do?
I was in a weird position and I was like, what was I supposed to do? You are a grown woman. Devante is a grown man. He ain't got an Airbnb. Check into a hotel. Because Devontae told us he makes what, $30,000 a month and blah, blah, blah. That's why he needed him a prenup. If one Airbnb said no, check into a hotel. Who Rufus? Rufus ain't no Beyonce that all the hotels in Austin gonna be booked. Okay? That night, with all your money, you could have checked into a hotel. What was I supposed to do? Why were you responsible for a grown man? Because you keep saying, like, oh, I wasn't close to Brittany. I wasn't close to Brittany. I wasn't close to Brittany. It wasn't my responsibility to tell Brittany. Okay. If it wasn't even your responsibility, you couldn't bear the responsibility, okay? Because it ain't got nothing to do with you. You couldn't bear the responsibility of texting Brittany, like, hey, you know, this your man is over here in my Airbnb. He's over here trying to do the concert. You couldn't bear that responsibility. Why did you then feel like you had to bear the responsibility of hosting him in your Airbnb? Pickmeshas, okay? I'm talking about Pickmeshas to the nth degree. Pickmeshas. The mayor, senator, and the president of Pickmesha lands. These three right here. Just like, we don't call some of y'all women, we don't call y'all losers enough. Okay? The three of y'all losers. Losers. Literally losers.
Kick this person. Like, I don't know, like, if he had to stay at my place that night.
No, he didn't have to. The same way you say you didn't have to text Brittany, he didn't have to stay at your place. He didn't have to. He didn't have to. He has money. Go rent out a hotel. You are a grown man. So you couldn't bear the responsibility of texting Brittany because, you know, me and her, we wasn't that close. She kept mouth like, oh, we're not that close. We're not that close. I can't show it because I'm not going to deal with Netflix, hey. You see what these people have done to me? I can't even talk. Demonetization policies. I can't deal with that, right? But like, you couldn't bear the responsibility to shoot a simple text. You ain't had no business bearing the responsibility to host a rich man into your apartment for the night. He could have found him a hotel. He's so rich. He could have found him a hotel. But again, we are dealing with the mayor, the senator, and the president of Pickmesha Land. Priyanka.
I'm not gonna just like make him stay on the street.
The street was the only other option. It wasn't no hotel. It was like the street was the only other reasonable option. Ain't no motel, ain't no other, like the street. Okay, Pickmesha.
Being confirmed when you landed.
So the Airbnb situation was weird. Even then, you didn't feel, again, you felt inclined to go ahead and you felt inclined to let him stay at your Airbnb knowing it was weird. And even that part, even if you were not close to what's her name, Brittany, Brianna and Ashley, they claim to have been close. Nobody said nothing to her. Nobody. Devontae ain't said nothing, and all three of the Pickmeshas, nobody said nothing. Ashley was trying to get revenge. Ashley was like, I don't give a damn. I was supposed to be everybody's preference, including Alex. But why Alex gonna show up and he gonna have Brittany as his preference? That angered her. As a blonde on the horizon who's used to being everybody's preference, that angered her. So her going on this trip with the devil was a way to insult and disrespect Brittany for no reason. Literally, because she held the grudge for the fact that Alex found Brittany to be his preference, even though Brittany never reciprocated anything at all.
I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings or if that hurt your feelings, but you know, I didn't know that he lied to you.
So she finally gonna be like, oh, the part of the Airbnb was not my plan at all, and I'm sorry, you know, that I hurt your feeling, or if that hurt your feelings. Like, girl, shut it up. Shut it up. I want to fast forward because I'm irritated, but I also want to see how far they're going to go. I don't want to watch this anymore. This has aggravated my spirit. I don't like girls that are mean. Like, Brianna is a mean girl. Ashley, a very mean and disgusting person. But like they're both nasty. They're like nice, nasty. Because this is the same three group of girls that was there who created the same audience for Chris to disrespect Jesse. It's a pattern with y'all. y'all just gonna go ahead and just like side with the men. Why? And mind you, these are the men who are disrespectful to their partners. Why would you befriend a man that's gonna be disrespectful to the women that they claim to have loved? Why would you want to have anything to do with a man like that? Why? Why? Brittany didn't have to be your favorite person. Brittany didn't have to be your best friend. But Devontae as a person, also a nasty person. No balls. Disrespectful. That man didn't have to be our friends either. The same way Chris down there at the bar, y'all ain't had no business sitting over here trying to like, navigate things like, with him like, oh, yo, maybe sometimes people can get a ick. Like you just want to like, it's a lifestyle. Like, Men that are disrespectful to women, to their women, they have no business, okay, being friends with y'all. Y'all have no business to allow them to be friends with y'all. But y'all are Pickmeshas. Okay, mayor, senator, and president. Get off my screen, Priyanka, because it's like of all the girlies, she's the one that's aggravating me more. Because again, I expect this from the whites. I do. Why women historically they're known to be conniving, especially against women of color. They're known to be conniving. But you, Priyanka, another
Girl code, you know?
they're gonna ask her, what are you thinking right now, Brittany? She's gonna be like, just girl code. It's a girl code thing. Yeah. Yeah. And you got Breezy over here, just like
Like, that's not big men.
Amber gonna jump be like, don't trust these men. Like, don't do that. At all. At all.
I shouldn't have found out from somebody that wasn't them.
I shouldn't have found out from somebody that wasn't them. Who told you, girl? Like, I bet you it's gonna be Amber. Amber, either Amber or Jessie and Emma. One of the three. Like, those are the girlies those are the actual girls. What's her name? Vic and Christine, they in their own bubble. So they probably ain't new. Okay, they probably ain't new, child. But Jessie, Emma, or whatchamacallit, Amber, one of them probably told her.
How did you find out?
Amber the one that told her. Amber the one.
Wasn't me being catty against you, girl. I didn't know she didn't know.
You see how a girl that supports other girls' moves, okay? She gonna be like, it wasn't me being catty against whatchamacallit, Brianna, Ashley, or Priyanka. I didn't know that what's her name that Brittany didn't know. So as soon as I found out, guess what I did? Hey girl, hey. What happened with Devontae? How Devontae gonna be like? As soon as I found out, I picked up my phone and checked in on my girl. Priyanka, you are an embarrassment to your people. I just hope you know that.
So how did you find out?
How you found out? She gonna point to Jordan. One thing about married couples, like they gonna snitch. Not me though. I honestly, whenever my friends tell me something, I don't tell my partner. I think it's so disrespectful to be the kind of girl that's like, oh, if you tell me something, automatically my man or my partner has to know. That is so disrespectful. If you tell me something, you told me. Literally, I'm not, even if you also know my husband, you also have a rapport with my husband. If you tell me something, I'm not going to tell even his own family. Whenever I found out something about his family before he did, I'm not saying nothing. The same way you fix yourself to tell me, if you want him to know, go ahead and tell him. He be like, girl, I be like, nah, I don't like to break people's trust. If you told me, that means you told me. I'm not going to go around and tell you just because. I don't do that. But Jordan was like, girl, you and her, what happened? Tell me why, okay? Tell me why. Listen.
I told you.
I don't know. I don't remember.
And Jordan is such a man. Like, I don't think, of all the men on the audience, Vic, we're going to give Vic his flowers. Vic is like, so far from what we've seen, Vic is a stand-up guy. But I've always enjoyed Jordan. Because Jordan knows who told him. But I'm not going to keep playing these games with y'all. Okay, I told her, but it ends with me. We're going to move on. Because then if I say such, like, then we just start to... You see how men tend to act? I don't even know, child. I don't know who told me. Let that be Alex. We're going to be... This baby would take us to New Zealand before he could give that answer back. 3 to 5 business days. We just going to be... But wrapped it up. I don't know, child. I don't know. I don't remember. Conversation is over. That's how a man acts. Not this sassy nothing and a half, no balls having men. Like just not at all.
So this is Brittany's dad, and I think he wanted to chime in on the situation.
Now we gonna have Brittany's daddy trying to go ahead and chime in for what? You had Devonta in your house. You ain't ask him no real questions. Okay? He done embarrass your child. And then on top of that, you decided to go ahead and start driving. You decided to become Uber. Okay? Uber driver. Okay? Closet speaker. A suit bringer. For the same people that been disrespected your daughter. Breezy disrespected your daughter. Guess what? The same way you ain't knew my number to go ahead and let me know that Devonta was down there with y'all. I don't know my daddy's number either. Fly back. Fly or drive back and get your own suit by yourself. Or go to the store and buy another suit for yourself. So why are we trying, like, what is there to, like, why are we, this man was in your house. You should have been chiming in then. Why are we chiming in now? Hello?
First, I want to say, are you okay, Devonta?
That's the first thing that's gonna come out of your mouth. Are you okay? Like, beloved, no. 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 I don't give a damn if he's okay or not. Please. You should not either. You should be asking how is your daughter feeling. That's what you should be worried about right now.
There's a lot of venom coming at you.
There's a lot of venom coming at you. This man, you were just as backward as you was down there at the house when you being told your girl, like, okay, we don't believe in no divorce. What do you mean it's going to be venom? You mean accountability? You mean questions? How is it venom? The man was lying. They were asking him about the things that he lied about. How is that venom? This what you want to... Y'all, do I have to keep watching? It's gonna be 15 minutes left. Like, I feel aggravated. How is it gonna be venom? A lot of y'all men, the reason why men are so trifling these days is because a lot of y'all men don't be liking to hold other men accountable. They were asking him questions about the behaviors that actually hurt your daughter. You're gonna be out here talking about the venom. What do you mean venom? Accountability is venom now? If he says something else stupid, I'm gonna skip. Y'all gonna have to watch this on your own, please. My blood pressure is high, low key.
I want you to be okay. And
I want you to be okay. Why? Oh, why? Why? It ain't no venom. Like, they trying to hold him accountable to the lies. It ain't no venom. Why do you want him to be okay? I do not want him to be okay.
I want you to make the best choices you can make.
I want you to be the best you that you can be, and I want you to make the best choices that you can make. He's not the best man he could be. He ain't made no best choices. So what is this venom that you're talking about that people are pouring on him? They're asking him questions, and you want him to be okay. Like what? Accountability isn't going to make him okay?
Because if you don't face it, it's going to come get you.
You got to face that stuff. If you don't face that stuff, it's going to come and get you. They were sitting over here trying to help him face that stuff. And then you was asking him if he's okay because you think people trying to hold him accountable. It's venom. So how is he going to be the best man he can be and face the things that he needs to face? But whenever they're asking him to face the lies that he's supposed to face, you trying to say it's going to be venom.
It bothers me that people are destroying you.
Hey! Hey! It bothers me that people are how are they destroying him? This man lied, disrespected your daughter on national television. They are trying to hold him accountable to the continuous lies. And then you are sitting over here talking about how, like, it's bothering that people are destroying him. So people are trying to hold him accountable so that he can be the best version and the best man that he can be. You think that's venom, and that's people destroying him.
So I do care about you. I meant that.
Y'all, is there a point to this? Is there a point? Because it's like now he's affirming Devontae, you is calm, you is patient. These people, they just hate us. They're trying to destroy you. They're spewing venom on you. Mind you, the whole time, they're just trying to hold this man accountable to the lies that he spread and to the way he disrespected your daughter. Did you ask your daughter if she was okay? Did you ask your daughter how all of these things has destroyed her? Did you ask her that? Again, men are nothing and a half because of other men. Other men.
I hope you will learn from this. And then I have
How he gonna learn? You think people trying to hold him accountable gonna be Venom? You think people trying to hold him accountable, that's them trying to destroy him? How he gonna learn? That ship has failed. Oh, my daughter loves you, but that ship has failed. Is there a point to this? Because now I'm like, let's see if we could find a point behind my couch. The point ain't here, and it's not on my screen either. Like now I'm just aggravated.
did you lie to me?
Did you lie to me? And then you got Vanessa over here about to cry. Y'all be impressed by nothing and a half. Literally. As a collective, y'all be impressed by nothing and a half. This man ain't said nothing. Literally, he ain't said nothing. We trying to hold him accountable. He gonna be like, oh, are you okay? These people are trying to destroy you. They're trying to throw venom at you. Did you lie to me that you got Vanessa over there about to cry? Like, what?
Okay, she gave you 5 options to get out.
She gave you 5 options to get out. Why didn't you? Before this, he done asked, like, did you lie to me when I asked you if you were ready to marry my daughter? Did you lie to me? And he gonna be like, oh, at the time I thought I was ready to marry your daughter, but I wasn't. Did you ask the questions that I told you to ask her? Oh, I went and I took some time and I asked her the questions I was supposed to ask. And I'm gonna skip, please. You're not gonna keep wasting my time. So now it's Nick Lachey speaking. What Nick gonna say?
I mean, I fell in love with him for a reason, and I think there's a really good man in there. I just didn't get the best version of him.
She gonna be like, so now you gotta watch Brittany. I don't know what they asked her because I skipped and I'm not going back. You're not gonna keep terrorizing me on my screen. So they're gonna ask her whatever they ask her, and she gonna be like, I think he's a good man, but I didn't get the best version of him. Again, trying to keep things cute and kumbaya. I'm sorry, Brittany. Like you went through a lot. I really empathize, and I do hope that out of this Love is Blind, like you get at least a campaign. I hope you get something like a brand deal, like a broad company or something. Like her titties are always standing firm foundation. They're always standing strong. It's always a standing ovation with her titties. Like what bra you be wearing? Okay, let a broad company go ahead and sponsor our good sis. Let her get some money up, something, please. Because this man was a waste of your time. Nothing and a half.
You were more in love with the idea of.
And hey, Nick, I'll have to give Nick this. He gonna ask, were you actually in love with him, or were you more in love with the idea of being married? Given that you had your address already picked up, blase. The answer is she was more in love with the idea of being married than she was Devontae. But she's not gonna say that. I think she fell in love with this man, and she thought maybe she was gonna get a different Devontae, because Devontae, that's like a black name. Like Devontae gonna be a little different. You know what I'm saying? Like Devontae gonna be different. He's a Devontae, but like Devontaes tend to be Devontaes. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying. Devontaes tend to Devontae. He's a Devontae, but he's not Devontae the way Devontaes tend to Devontae. Right? But then when this man started twirling and gyrating and treating her like she was almost like, not desirable, she went into, she started spiraling almost and went into a mode of like, let me earn the love that we once had in the past. Like I could still make this work. Once upon a time, he loved me. Once upon a time, he was so happy to have me be his bride. I could still get that back. Right? I still maintain that. But also, she just wanted to be a bride. She just wanted to be a bride. So it was easy for her to overlook a lot of things.
No, I was definitely very much so in love with him.
She gonna be like, I was really in love with him, and that's why I kept fighting. I think that's the answer that you're telling yourself. But like, if you go to therapy and really sitting with yourself honestly, that's not your truest answer. But comment down below, let me know. Maybe I'm just wrong, because I can't read people's minds.
Someone else? Have you been able to move on and see?
Of course, he's in a relationship. He's in a relationship with what's his name, Alex, nomadically. Of course he is. They're gonna ask Devontae if he's been able to move on, blase blase. Of course he's in a relations with Alex.
I am right now.
He is?
A husband and a father. Those were two of the most important things for me.
He married with a child now? He gonna say one of the things that were the most important for him was to be a husband and a father. Are you a husband and a father? Because I'm not gonna celebrate that, but go ahead and finish your little story.
I am going to be a father this year.
He gonna be a father. You got Priyanka over there like sort of kind of clapping. Like of all the people that's aggravating my spirit, this whole reunion, Priyanka, like you is
We're engaged.
You're engaged.
So he's engaged with a baby on the way. Let me guess, she's white. Is she white? Brittany ain't seeing nobody, and I think it's fair. Like, let her heal, let her focus on herself, let her focus on loving herself for real, for real. And during this time, I hope your daddy gonna learn how to, vet some of your potentials better in the future. Cause it's not giving. And so now you have, the low whatchamacallit, the low interview that they're doing with the audience members, and now it's gonna be Zach and Bleez. And unfortunately, Zach and Bleez, not unfortunately, they're welcoming the second. Congratulations to them. But unfortunately, his grandmother essentially passed away. And so she's not gonna be able to meet, whatchamacallit, her granddaughter. So they're grieving that, but you had the grandmama who decided to go ahead and, announce. So they have a video of the grandmama announcing the gender of their baby. Very cute moment, very, very beautiful moment. But I'm going to say this again, this might be an unpopular opinion. Certain moments that are just so valuable and so intimate, they don't need to be shared on social media. They certainly don't need to be shared on Love is Blind. But then again, that's just my thought process. I think it's really cute that, that the grandmama was the one announcing that, that they're going to have a boy, I think it is. But like, this would have been very intimate if this moment was surrounded by people who genuinely know you guys and love you guys and love on you for real, for real. Because the reality is, these people, I am happy for y'all, but I don't know y'all. Vanessa is happy for y'all, but Vanessa doesn't know y'all, right? Like your closest friends, like your closest family, like your closest, like the people that actually make a part of your village. This would have been a wonderful moment to share with just them. That's just my opinion. Comment down below and let me know. But one thing about Gigi, again, Gigi not gonna keep her hands to herself. She's out here touching Zach. She's touching Bliss. Like, girl, touch yourself. Okay? Touch your waist, your hip. Like, what is it with y'all just... What the hell?
Farting in bed, and he like...
And so now you have the host gonna ask Vic and Christine, like, y'all seem to be perfect, y'all get along so well. Is there any pet peeves? Like, is there anything that y'all arguing about? Why? Because in this entire audience, we've not seen enough arguments, we've not seen enough mess. Y'all gotta still try to find a mess out of the couple that has been respectful and loving towards each other. That's what you're trying to find. Please, don't piss me off.
Most amount of socks I've ever seen own in their lives.
And here goes a man again. He gonna say Christine has one too many socks. What y'all think I was gonna do? Say Christine gonna be messy, Christine is this. Like, no. She has one too many socks. That's the only problem that's gonna be in our relationship. I know that's not true. I know they probably have other issues that they may be like, working through. He's black, she's white. I'm sure, navigating their families, navigating all those different things. I'm sure they probably come up with different issues. But is he going to air it out on national television? No, he's not. Because why? That's a man. Men, they have a way of, they move in class. Real men, they move with class. They move with ease. The only problem so far, she got too many socks. Yes.
A serial killer is sleeping next to me.
We never have foot on foot action. It's like a serial killer sleeping next to me. That's the biggest problem we have. In Jesus' name. And I do hope that's the biggest problem that you guys will ever have, publicly or privately. In Jesus' name, go ahead and love yourselves. Go ahead and have a happy life. In Jesus'
He
name.
has a mild Angry Bird addiction. Trash ball.
Christine, you have any other pet peeve? Oh, he like him Angry Birds. He's always playing Angry Birds on his phone. And he's doing the whatchamacallit trash ball where he gonna gather his trash and try to shoot. Men, all men be doing that. I be so annoyed, Loki. Like, beloved, get up and throw the trash. Cause you miss every time. You miss every time. But again, look at the problems that they're having. She got one too many socks, and we ain't got no food on food action. And this way we trying to be a baller with the trash in the house. Them the problems we gonna have in Jesus' name. She gonna be like, I feel safe, I feel supported, I feel loved. My life has changed in the best way possible, because that's the question that Vanessa asked. Like, how has your lives changed? Like, since being together, she feels very safe. Emphasize the safe, because y'all be thinking black men, especially black men with dress, they're gonna be violent. No, this baby is safe. I'm very safe emotionally, physically, mentally, all of the things. I'm very safe. I'm very safe. Nobody's safe around Alex, nomadically that is. Nobody's safe. Okay, but with Vic, we safe. Safety.com.
The greatest gift that can be in Christine.
He gonna be like, God has given me the greatest gift that I could have ever received in Christine. Yes. Yes, like when I thank the Lord for the blessings over my life, I thank him for you 1,000 times. That's how a man gonna speak. Like, ladies, especially black women, because I'm not gonna hate, right? Like, Christine seems like a lovely person. She seems to love this man, and I think he loves her right back and all of the things. But boy, I wish every black woman would find this level of love, this level of safety, this level of comfort in black men too. Like, I wish this was like, I don't know, Tyler or like Kia. Like, again, I'm not trying to say like Christine doesn't deserve no love, but like on this here show, like whenever you see struggle love, like black women are always the face of struggle love. You have like AD, that's the face of struggle love. You have, whatchamacallit, Kia and Tyler, who were disrespected by Kevon the whole time. Like, just so many women over and over again on these here platforms that never get like a stand-up guy. And the few that did, like let's say Lauren, that's a white man. You have Tiffany and Brett, who don't ever get, the amount of recognition that their love deserves. Like, that's black love right there. You got Tiffany, like, and Brett. From what we see, the two of them love each other. They've always loved each other, but they don't get as much, they don't get as much from like Love is Blind. Right? Christine deserves this, but like, my gosh. I would have been so happy if it was Kia over there, if it was Tyler, if it was somebody. Because black women, especially black women in general, deserve a love that's safe, a love that doesn't come with a lot of tootsie rolling or arguing. Black women deserve that. But particularly on this show, like, black women deserve a win, especially a win to come from a black man as well. Like, oh my gosh, like that, it just would have been amazing. But the two of them, they make such a great couple. So again, I'm not trying to say Christine doesn't deserve no love. A part of me as a black woman, seeing all these black women who literally be disrespected on this here show time and time and time again. We got a black man, like an educated black man, a kind black man, a gentle black man, a loving black man. And that black man does not end up with one of us. I'm just kind of like, dang, like, I'm happy for Christine, because the two of them, they seem aligned. But I'm like, why didn't he align with somebody? Like, why didn't he align with Kia, with Tyler, like with somebody black? Like, hello? He gonna be like, I'm imperfect. Christine has seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. But when they asked him what has been like, a pet peeve or something like challenging, she said the Angry Birds. But Christine has seen the bad, the good, and the ugly. And in public, guess what we're gonna talk about? We're gonna talk about the Angry Birds, and we're gonna talk about the whatchamacallit, the trash ball. That woman gonna protect, like, this is our relationship, and we're gonna leave our relationship privately.
Serve Christine because he put her in my life for a reason.
When the girlies be like, they want them a God-fearing man, this who they be talking about. Some of y'all be God-fearing, but then y'all be having hips. Like, as a man of God, why you got more hips than I do? Some of y'all be God-fearing, but then you ain't got no swag. Some of y'all be God fearing, but then it's like you don't know how to talk to a woman outside of like God, 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 God. Like some of y'all could quote more scripture, but cannot find the map to my whatchamacallit, my clitoris. Like some of y'all know where Leviticus was when the things was the things, but don't know how to ring the doorbell. When the girlie said we want us a God fearing man, this is what they be talking about. But the God fearing men that be coming forth, Lord. Y'all be having the kind of faces that will cause somebody to fear the Lord. Like, oh my God. So TurboTax gonna go ahead and fly them for their own personal honeymoon. Very much deserved. And I hope, I hope they get brand partnerships. I hope they get all of the things. I hope they get all of the love, just like from, I hope they get money up out of this, okay? None of these clowns that was out here doing the most. I hope not. Like everybody that sat over here on my screen trying to get more screen time, hoping that screen, I had to check that my mic was still on, but hoping that screen time was gonna go ahead and translate to some kind of like brand deals. I hope y'all get nothing and a half. I hope Alex, Chris, Ashley, Davante, Breezy, what's my golly, and blah blah mouth corner that decided to stay with Breezy. Who's the other one? Mike. I hope all of y'all don't get nothing and a half. Emma could still get some love because Emma done lost a lot of things in her life. Let her get some money going for this little thing. But the rest of you, I don't want to see nothing. Jordan can get some love too. Jordan can get some brand deals, and hopefully Better Help gonna sponsor what's her name? Better Help, go ahead and sponsor Amber so that our good sis can go ahead and heal in Jesus' name. But I hope Christine and Vic actually get all of the love, the brand deals. I hope they monetize on their love. Okay, I hope they do. So that the rest of these here clowns that be trying to get on my screen will learn that integrity and love can actually go a longer way than the stupidity that they be trying to put on my screen, aggravating my spirit the whole time. In Jesus' name. And so now they're gonna have them in performance, and I'm guessing that's it. And if it's not it, that's it for me. Okay, I'm tired. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you always know when I upload. I'm gonna go ahead and see you guys on the next one. My next video is actually gonna be about the Target, whatchamacallit, fast, boycott, and all of the things. It's a mess, but I'm gonna try to record it either, today or tomorrow. But I'm happy and I'm glad that you guys stayed with me all throughout this year. Love is Blind reviews. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. I know I said I was gonna do the other Love is Blinds, but for my sanity, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm not gonna. Like the Italy one, the Germany one, it's like I did like a couple videos and then they took it down. It takes a lot of work to sit over here, just keep talking. Like I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Sorry to the Italians, sorry to the Germans. I'm not gonna finish that. If I watch it, I'm just gonna watch it for my own enjoyment. Because the more I watch a lot of these shows to review them, it be annoying sometimes. So I think moving forward, maybe I would do the UK ones. Because another thing that's annoying is the low dubs. Because it's like if I don't have to understand, the tonalities, the tone, and all of the things that people are saying in their original language, it can be a little annoying to watch. So moving forward, I will only be doing Love is Blind USA or Love is Blind UK and French, because I can speak French. Whenever I watched the French one, it was in French. And I was just watching and I could actually pick up some of the things that were going on. I will not be finishing out the ones that I started. I apologize, if that's disappointing to some of y'all, but I would just not. I'm just, it's too much and I have to be realistic with myself. So if you've enjoyed this, please, thank you so much for watching again, and please subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you always know when I upload. I will go back to doing my thoughts of the week, and yeah, I'll go back to doing that until we have other shows. Ooh, the show whatchamacallit, Blue Therapy. Like I want to review that show. Comment down below and let me know if you're interested in me reviewing that show. Somebody else asked me to review The Age of Attraction, and I looked at it and it's like I don't even think I want to see through that show. I don't even want to promote that show at all. At all. So I will not be watching that. But Blue Therapy, I like talking about relationships and relationship dynamics. So comment down below and let me know if you would like me to, review blue therapy. I think that would be fun, and I think I'm interested in doing that. But until then, I'm gonna go hydrate. Like my lips is dry. Like it's a lot going on. So make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you always know when I upload. And I'm gonna go ahead and see you guys in the next one. Bye, Z's.